hello. Thank you to everybody who decided to show up to today's development stream. Should be a nice, chill time. Might be a little shorter than normal because I got some plans later, but for now, let's get straight into it. Howdy. Got a new layout that I'm trying. Wanted to fool around with it, see if we could get something that has a little more personality than just like a black screen with a display in one corner. Let's get rid of this guy. Then change you. Today's... Oh, what am I doing? Today's goal. Working on the final world. There we go. Alright, make it the background music playlist on. Sure the volumes are on that. A little sip of water. Man, I need to get some lights or something. My face looks so dim down there in the corner. Slide the music down a little. That should be good. Alright, how's everybody doing today? We got Ethan Levy. It's good to see you. Feels like it's been eons since you've been here. It's good to have you around. We got Ace. We got Richie Animates. Crystal Sword. Yeah, that's everybody got in right now. So, how is everybody doing today? Hopefully well. Alright, let's go ahead and get into some of the new content that I've been working on. And today's main goal is going to be working on the layout of the second stage for the new world, or for the final world, rather. But we also want to do some work on this guy right here. Oh, actually, let me fix something really quick. If you're not in the Discord, you might not have seen this guy yet. Set your visibility to none. And then you'll notice that the eyes are different separate meshes, and you'll see why for when we get into that. Set that to visible. That to visible. There we go. Okay. So, it starts out in this egg form. It will not add to the cell counter while it's in this state, but if you walk in, it'll jump up, burst, explode out, and then it will become part of the cell counter. So now you have to deal with it. Oh, I just realized something else I forgot to do. Yeah, so when it... yeah, here we go. So this basically just does a pretty simple switch where it turns the egg components to invisible and turns the tadpole components to visible. It's called Void Spawn, by the way. I should probably mention that, but it's basically a tadpole guy. But I've done some funny little code on this fella, so that way you can see the eyes there will always be following you, no matter where you go. He doesn't really look up and down yet, which is something I would like to factor in. He also doesn't hurt you. So part of today is going to be working on this guy's damage behavior, making sure he actually, dies when he takes damage, making it so that he actually attacks you when he gets in range, and then the cell counter stuff. But that should all be relatively simple. And also, he doesn't die to the death plane yet because he doesn't have health. But that's this fella. I've also been working on quite a few changes to the hub world. I've added a lot of small sections, and I'm going to save that for a later time, I think. But the hub world is about to have a lot more things to do in it. Hey, Oro. How's it hanging? Glad that you guys are doing well. How's it going, Mr. Frog 091? If your run lasts about 14 weeks, do they turn into frogs? No. I mean, sure, yes. Sure. Reminds me of Bug Snacks. It is kind of Bug Snacks-ish. Yeah, I can definitely see that. 3D tadpole is scary. I'm not used to the 3D. Yeah, it's definitely weird. But he fits in pretty well. I was kind of worried that the putting in 3D enemies might be at too much of a contrast with the 2D guys, but I think due to how simplistic he is, he fits pretty well. And there's also a bit of internal consistency where only specific things related to the Void Collector itself have these 3D elements, like the Void Core up there is 3D, this is 3D. And one other big thing will be 3D. So by saving it and only using the 3D elements in those kinds of places, it should help it feel like it's a fun exception rather than breaking the style weirdly. That's at least the hope. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, let's really quickly make this guy visible again, just so we can do some testing. And first thing we want to do is factor in this guy's damage functionality, and this should be pretty simple. We'll just get a sphere collision, and we'll stick it. What's it? Not let me scale this guy. It's weird. It's not letting me. Oh, because it's a sphere. Duh. We'll just get a cube. Box collision. Box collision. There we go. And we'll do some fiddling with the size here just to see what feels about right. But for now, we'll stick it like right about here. Maybe shrink it down a little bit so it feels a little more forgiving. Yeah, we can try that. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and give that a name. We're gonna call that Hurt Collision. There we go. And just for reference, to make sure we're doing things consistently, I'm gonna go ahead and type in Gunther Attack. There we go. So this is Gunther's projectile, and we're basically going to be trying to use a lot of the same collision settings we use for this as we do for this guy. And the key things we want to factor in for this is making sure that, one, this collision box here doesn't... let me attach it to tadpoles, that way it rotates consistently. But we want to make sure that that if you shoot this collision, your bullets will go through it, so it doesn't just bounce off the front and then makes it invulnerable from the side that it's attacking with, which I think would probably be very obnoxious. And another thing is also just to make sure it properly overlaps with the player and causes them damage. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we can just look at the code we've written here, which is very, very simple for the damage. So we cast to the first-person character. We will take damage. So we've got a pre-written function inside of the player character that is for taking damage, and then we have this variable called hit once. And it will turn that off, delay, and then turn it back on. Now, I don't think I end up really using this much because we've got a built-in like iframes function, but basically this would just be to make sure that the enemy can't hit you and then hit you again, like multiple times in quick succession. But for now, we can just copy-paste these over to our void spawn. And then from the hurt collision, if we grab onComponentBegin overlap, we plug those in here. The other actor goes into the object component. So basically saying, if it overlaps with the first-person character, then this can proceed and we can take damage. That's pretty simple. Should work as intended. Yep. It does indeed. And if you sidestep, you can kind of just slide around him. Yeah, he doesn't feel too obnoxious. I think that's probably a good, about good for the hitbox positioning. Yeah. Set you back to invisible. Okay, so now something we need to do is set his collision properly. So if we go down here, we've got custom collision enabled, and this is basically what will prevent it from having that weird, like, collision. So like, if you shoot right here, you can see that it kind of just hits on nothing. Although that might actually count as hitting him. Yeah, we'll do the test actually with that first. Okay. So first we're going to give this guy a health variable. Set that to an integer. Set him low, 3, so just so he gets one shot for now. And then we're going to say event any damage. There we go. Actually, do we want this guy to die in one hit or not? Oh, that does actually remind me of one other thing I did want to check. So I think we'll give him health. But we'll add a boolean first called hatched, so we make that a boolean. So the idea is that with this guy, if you shoot the egg before it spawns, then you can just break it instantly and you won't get attacked. So you can quickly disarm the situation, or say shoot the egg from a distance if you have good positioning. So it's more so an incentive to keep an eye on where they spawn. And potentially be able to shoot before you can get there, but sometimes they'll be put in places where you cannot shoot the egg before you get there. I'll probably change the size of the spawn radius as well to make that kind of difficult. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, so we'll start by just setting up a branch here. So if hatched is true, because it'll be false by default. So if it's false and they have not hatched, we'll just say destroy actor for now. Actually, no, we'll do a custom custom event. We'll call that die. And this is where we're going to put all of our relevant code. For now, this is just going to be a destroy actor, so it gets rid of him when we don't want him in there anymore. So if he is, if he has not hatched, then he'll just insta die. So like this, boom, easy peasy. Show us this game would work kind of well on console. How do you figure? Because I feel like this is a control scheme that doesn't really work well on controller. That's kind of the main part. Googly eyes differentiate it from the other enemies. I guess they do all kind of just have dot eyes, huh? Shoot, did I shoot the? Oh shit. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, whoops. One thing we're gonna need to change, actually, is the collision for this box here, because you could just shoot the box that it uses to detect if you're here or not, and then that counts as part of the guy itself, which is not what we want. So this is where we're gonna go down to the collision settings, set this to custom, and then we can just copy over the settings from the Gunther attack hitbox. So it needs to block, roll static, and roll dynamic, and then it needs to overlap pawn and then ignore everything else. So now it should... nope. Okay. Oh, object type pawn. There we go. Nope. Okay. Are there any settings that are different between these two? They're the same. Yeah, that's weird. Strange. I could use the spawn... Yeah, set spawn thing. This is an object I have that will basically update your spawn location in the hub world to avoid backtracking. So you can take a look at this one, but I think the collision is mostly the same. Oh, no, it isn't. It ignores world static and world dynamic. It just overlaps pawn. Object type bullets. Okay, let's try that. Object type bullets. There's a lot of things that I don't really know why they work in Unreal. They just kind of do. Okay, there we go. Now it works. Cool. And we can still overlap it, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that that do just kind of work, and I don't really know why exactly they work, but they do work, so I'm not gonna question it too hard. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to this guy and work a little bit more on his damage and health functions. So... Actually, make this float real quick, because I use this float for damage. Okay, so whenever it hatches, think that as soon as you get in radius of it, it'll become invincible, rather than actually when it hatches. So we'll say set hatched to true as soon as you get in range, and then it'll switch over to a more traditional like health damage function. And now it should, if we shoot it, it's a little hard to hit this guy. Yeah, there we go. Now it works. Okay. So now what we can do is we can say true. So if it has hatched, then it will set health to health subtract damage. There we go. And then we can do a branch where if health is less than or equal to 0, that is true, then it will die. And we'll set the health to something like 10, so we can get an adequate test of that function. There we go. Alright, that was easy peasy. So one other thing we're gonna want to do is, yeah, let's set up a reference. Oh no, we got it. Sweet. Okay, so there's a lot of kind of complicated stuff that happens when it dies and when it takes damage that we're gonna need to factor in. A lot of this stuff is kind of weird, to be honest. Especially because I kind of coded this stuff once, like 8 months ago, and then haven't really adjusted it. I've just kind of kept copy pasting it. So A lot of it is there for good reason, but it would probably be avoidable if I had set things up properly, so that way things were like set up as a single enemy class, and then they would have shared functions, but I didn't do that because I'm dumb. So that'll be a good thing for the next time. How's it going, Pickled Emu? Welcome to the stream. I don't know how it works, but it does. Yes, that's coding. That is just coding. Okay, so let's copy over a bunch of these functions here. I don't need Shotgun or Dragon, I don't think. I think, yeah, we're gonna want this guy to be immune to knockback. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, so we drag this stuff over, and we'll hook this up before this function. There we go. Yeah, so then we need to hook all these things up into damage. Oh, what's the problem? Oh, because I have a set flip book. Right. Yeah, okay. Okay. So what that should be doing is setting our juice to however much damage we just did to him. So we do is we get the juice variable from the first person character, from the player, and then we add that to damage, and then we clamp it so that way it doesn't go over the max, and then it will set the current juice to that value we've gotten. Yeah, so pretty simple stuff all around. Let's make sure it's working real quick. So if we shoot him a couple times, then, okay, it was working. We did have more juice to play with. Okay, we're good. Okay, so now he will properly give us some points upon shooting him. Now what else do we want to do? Yeah, that's right, we need to add the combo count, and then that should be it, because there's some other things we're gonna have to do when it comes to animation, because I do want to find ways to make this guy, work. Like maybe have his eyes closed when you shoot him, so swap out like the texture for the eyes on like a closed eye texture or something instead. Pretty relatively simple, but it's a good way to add a bit of extra character to him. But we'll do that. I'll do that another time. Oh, you know what? Doesn't really work too well, because in this level, in the hub area, we don't have the combo count or the enemy counter. And those are both things we're going to need to be testing. So let's just head on over to Void Core 1. We'll just plop this guy down somewhere random. Doesn't really matter. Oh, I just dragged a level instance out. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so when he dies, he does properly add to the combo counter. Cool. Oh, that's only on if he dies. We'll make it so that way he adds that whenever he takes damage instead. So it'll be, yeah, there we go. And then he'll give a full combo refill whenever he dies instead. Okay. So now we're going to need to work on some of his death functions. Although, actually, before that, on begin play, yeah, what we're going to want to do is add the cell number. So we go to Void Spawn 2. And we'll hook this up like that. So, actually, no, we're going to want this code elsewhere. That's right. So, on this bit, where is it? This bit right here. This is where we're going to want to plug that in. Actually, no, we want this here, I think. Yeah. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I think it'd probably be more consistent if we put it before the delay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think logic-wise. I think that'll work. Okay, so now the cell count should be... oh, where's the 2? Here where I put them. But right now the cell count is 2, and then it goes up to 3. Perfect. Okay. And then what we're going to need to do is set up the stuff that runs whenever he dies. Is right here. Yeah, so a lot of this we don't really need. Just not gonna need to call a lot of it. Why is this set up like this? That's weird. I don't know if I'm necessarily better now than I was like 8 months ago, but it certainly feels like I've gotten better than I was 8 months ago. I look back at a lot of that old code. I'm like, what? It was this nightmare disaster of code. Okay, so we set number of cells to the current number -1, so we just subtract 1 from the number, which is good because we've killed an enemy. And then we're gonna run heal, all this, which will add an extra juice bonus for killing him, add 1 to the combo count, and then reset the combo counter, or add the combo drain normal, basically. Yeah, and then we'll destroy the after. A lot of this is going to be changed once we have some of the extra visual stuff in place, but for now this will do the trick. And also it'll play like a death sound, and we'll make a custom death sound at some point. Okay, there we go. Now he works. All he really needs is some polish, like some sound effects and stuff, and maybe some slightly more advanced attack patterns and behaviors. But before we move on to doing some more level design stuff, I wanted to show you guys the sort of initial concept for the enemy. We'll see how functional it is, if at all. Yeah. So, no, okay, I forgot I broke this guy. So what this is gonna be, before I got the model in place, it was gonna be kind of a homing missile sort of deal, where he would be in this egg state, and then launch up, and then float in the air for like a second, and then aim towards you, and then go flying right down, and then like explode at your location. And I did kind of get it to work. I broke it after the fact because it didn't work great, but it did technically function. There's some weird janky interactions with trying to give it both physics and also have like Unreal's built-in homing missile properties. Cool idea. Not actually that fun in execution. I think the current iteration is a little bit more interesting. Keeps the spirit of that idea alive, but makes it more fun to like actually fight against. And makes it more of an enemy rather than just like a weird obstacle. While still having that sort of obstacle ideas, but that was sort of the initial vision for the enemy before he got some tweaks. Oh, that's right. I removed the homing the grabbable properties of those. No, I might bring that back. Anyways, that's good old Void Spawn. With him out of the way, let's move on over to Void Core 2, and we'll get this level laid out. This last stream that I'm back, welcome. This is basically just a landmine. Very true. How's it going, System Fan? How is it hanging? Okay. So for this level, believe I mentioned it last time, but this is similar to 3 buildings / kick the card counter in terms of construction. So the idea is you get one fairly large level. Well, it looks kind of small now, but we're going to be adding quite a few extra sections here and there. I'll bring this down one, actually. But the vision with this stage is that it'll be these 4 different themed sections based around all of the 4 worlds. You go into each of them, they're all interconnected with different bits and pieces, like there is a train crashing into the windmill, and there's another one that is buried into this is going to be like a big clump of snow. Still trying to think of some more interactions that I'm going to do to bring the timely demise themes further in. A lot of stuff I want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by... Yeah, let's just start by incorporating some of the timely demise stuff in a little bit more closely. So it's... Okay, so it goes 1 too far. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna start by extending this platform out all the way here, because what this area has a lot of like floating rocks over very dangerous pits, so I think it would be fitting to bring some of that over into this section. So let's say we've got this bit here where you've got like some fairly thin platforms you have to navigate. You can climb up these. These can like lead to split paths that can take you up to the windmill, or it can take you into the middle of here. Maybe it wraps around, gives you like a launcher over here that can send you flying out to anywhere else on the stage. I think that'd be a good way to bring the feel of the Timely Demise world over into the finale in a suitably challenging and interesting way. How do I want to lay this out exactly? Okay. I've got an idea. We'll start by just adding a small floating island here. Extend this out like that. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of this platform right here. And then we'll just extend this down a little. And then if we make this, extend that out a little, then, yeah, that's a little too, whoops, didn't mean to delete that entirely. We'll lift the height of that up by 1. We'll just do some testing on that to make sure that feels alright. I think we can definitely afford to pull that further back, for sure. I'm trying to think how tight we want this to be. It is one of the final levels, so I don't think we need to be too held back on making things challenging. And if we're gonna be making things tricky, now is gonna be the time to do it. It does feel a little steep though. Let's pull it back a couple more and then make it go back to about that point. Nice leisurely incline. Yeah, it feels good. And then we can sort of have this go upwards in a spirally pattern before we reach the crossroad section. What's this final world called? This is called the Void Core. Maybe if you head into the clock tower, there's another door to that rock. Well, I was thinking that this section would lead up to like the middle of the clock tower and to this part of the windmill. So we could have like a section right here that leads out to it. Okay, so this is gonna go out like this. Let's add a small jump here. Cannot remember what the block's size is for what's like a tight jump. Do a little testing. You think I'd remember the some of this stuff, considering how much time I've spent trial and erroring in this engine. There we go. That is a properly precise jump. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 blocks. Okay, so 1,800 units is how far we can go in one jump without being too overly precise and not requiring any resource expenditure either. Okay, so next we're going to draw this section out to the side here. Pull this up so we've got a slope section to work with. There we are. Okay, here's what I'm thinking we could do for this bit. Could sort of lead through here. Cut that section out so it doesn't interfere with the jump. Go, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay. So I've got a couple ideas here. I'm thinking maybe this platform could have like a launcher you have to use to get like a wraparound jump up here, and then this leads to the crossroads. I think that might be what I do. I think that's fun. Add a spiral. Good. That could be a good shape for like the launch. You hit a trampoline and then whoop, your way upwards. A fully circular spire. I'd have to model that if I wanted to do full circles, because the cube grid doesn't really allow that. Again, another reason I'm switching to Blender after this game is done. Okay, so let's add a trampoline. Not a super trampoline, a regular trampoline. Right here. So you'd go like, something like that. Then we put a platform right there. Then something like this, sort of give you like an incentive to curve around it. We'll make that like a proper pillar, but for now it's just kind of there to give us a sense of shape. Okay, so that's a little too high. Okay, still a little too high. I think if we clear out one off the cube grid, that should probably be enough. There we go. Alright, now let's see if we can still do that if we make this pillar a bit larger. I think we'll extend this out a little bit here to make this feel a little more natural. And then drag this guy down to the plane. So that way it seems a little more rooted instead of just being a random floating piece of geometry. Although it is kind of what a lot of this world's aesthetics are. Okay, that feels pretty satisfying. Just a nice little wraparound. What I'm thinking is then we can combo that into a launcher. I think that'd be a fun bit of platforming. So let's see where exactly that'll take us if we, if we do that combo. Okay, with the pillar width there, that does certainly a little bit more precise. Yeah, and we could have a section like land right here, maybe. Probably gonna want to add another pillar here, though, just to lead the player the way we want them to go. You know what? I think we'll... How about we extend it out this way a little bit? Then in this way a little. There we go. And then this could be something we do later on. That could be fun. Okay, so we go in here. We'll have some globes or something in the air to lead the player's eye. And I think just to make that feel a little bit more consistent, we'll add a slope right there. Yeah. I think I'll also pull it out ever so slightly this way, just to give the player an extra incentive to approach it like from a curved direction. Because if they go right here, they'd kind of only go this way. But if they give it, if these are like subtle small changes we make, it can help drive the player to sort of approach it from this direction. At least that's the intention. Okay, and we'll set another platform here, see about how that feels to reach. And I think also you could probably just do this. Yeah, you can also do that, but the player's eye won't necessarily be led that way, so they're more likely to do this. And then they can use this as like a shortcut if they know about it. Which is cool. We like shortcuts around these parts. Okay, right around here-ish is where we'd land. What if there was a Sheila and Gunther on the Ray section? That could be pretty fun. Right now we're mostly worried about getting the level layout and construction before we do the enemy placements, but that is certainly something to keep in mind. I think those guys tend to thrive pretty well in these kinds of closed quarters, narrow, high flying sections, so that's a good thought. There we go. That just lines up perfectly. Then we can extend this part out here. There we go. Then, yeah, we'll just cut a hole right there. That's where we can keep this in mind as something we can use a little later. Then I'm thinking this sort of go along the edge of the building like so. ramp right there. So now you've got these two little shortcuts you can use to get into their respective buildings. So we go up and around. Then we boost on over here, and now we've got this nice little bit where we can decide which direction we want to go. And I think this is gonna, I think, lead pretty well to this stage feeling very open-ended. And then the X-ray should help make sure that players don't get too lost and confused at the end. Add the clock guy, the Uncle Time, a trampoline. Stacked enemies on the left side. It should be a one-off mini-boss. Oh, the little group. You said left side, and I was like, what left side? And I looked at the stream UI. It's like, oh yeah, that left side. The only left side, really. That'd be fun. That'd be I don't even know how they would. I guess they would do melee damage with Slapmo. They'd run at you with the speed of a bouncer. They'd shoot cubes at you, and then they'd also have a shield and shoot projectiles and place Steve bombs. So I think that would actually be a pretty fun enemy, if maybe not a nightmare to look at. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good start to this. So what I'm thinking here, though, is if we extend this part out, I want to have some way of like getting up here, and then redirecting your momentum through like a launcher. Actually, this okay. Hold on. I'm thinking real quick. Thinking fast. If we put a super launcher right here, where does this let us get? Like anywhere, right? Yeah, pretty much anywhere we want to get to. With an uppercut, you can get even up here. Okay, so I think, yeah, there should be some kind of interesting shortcut. Maybe like from... Let's see, because I'm trying to think where would be actually that useful. Because if you can get up here, like through here, you can also kind of just get anywhere you want with one of these. But then if you chain it with, you know, one of these, then you really can get anywhere. I guess another benefit of this is that it being out here in plain view means you can grapple it. And it's kind of hard to get a good angle on it. Yeah. I mean, I guess it could let you do this to get up here pretty quickly, which is quite powerful. I mean, that might even be more useful than just having the launcher be there. We'll keep that for now. That does seem a little broken, but it's also fun, so... Gotta get our good mix of reasonably well-balanced and stupid. Okay. Start by adding in a little section here, where you'd actually land. And we can use that as a guide when we start working our way upwards. Okay, so let's add a platform here. Then, yeah, so you'll go in here, have some enemies right here, work your way up and around. Then we can do this. Set up a slope right there. There we go. Then delete all of this. Then we can do that. There we go. Cool. Then if we do a trampoline right here, do something like a wraparound jump right there. Probably put a gear right here. You know, let's just get that aligned right now. Scale you up. Oh. Let's adjust the tilt of that guy a little. Oops, stuck myself on a wall. Okay, so we go up, and then through. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And pronounce that tilt a little bit more. I think it's a good concept, but at the same time, I think this section's just too small. Yeah, it just feels a little too cramped. Yeah, I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks there. Then we'll have to do the same for up top. But I think this should make this whole bit feel a lot more fun to go through if you've got a little bit more breathing room. We need to also extend this out as well. I'm gonna have to adjust this as well, but whatever. We shall do that when the time calls for it. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we can adjust this for our increased size. Keep kind of the same generalized layout, but we'll just make it a little bit bigger, give the player some more room to navigate, instead of feeling quite so cramped. Then we'll do this, and that, and that, and that. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. And then we'll bring this section up as well, so we get all 4 walls up, so we have the same flow of going thick, then thin, then thick again. Bars. There we go. Yep, through the cracks there. Then drag that out. Drag this out. We're gonna have to entirely demolish the pyramid on top, so that way this actually scales properly. And we'll also have to redesign that guy. Fit our new oblong shape. And the door is gonna have, a lot of things are gonna have to be adjusted to suit this new, much wider fella. Okay, let's get back to doing the interior. Right there looks good. Then grab the slope, pull that out like that. Then we're gonna grab this and pull it in. You have to go? No! How does this always happen? Will there be surfboard parkour in this world? Yes. Funny thing about watching the stream is you get free speedrunning tips. Very true. Dentist appointment means I gotta leave. Well, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate having you here, well, as long as you can be here. Okay. Actually, that's a little too high. I kind of like the layout of that, where it was, like, just above the doorway. So let's add this in one more time at about this height. Yeah. Then drag this across. Then we do that. There we go. Then this part, and there we go. Bada bing, bada boom, we're back in business. Okay, so we pull this back across. And then cut off another hole right here. There we go. Yep. See how that feels with a little bit of extra wiggle room. Oh, now we've got a little too much wiggle room. Oops. There we go. That feels pretty good. Yeah. Let's just close this in like that, so the spacing is more consistent. There we go. Okay. So we go up and around, hit this guy, soar on through here, and now we're up to this level where you can then go out here, probably have an offshoot right here, and this will lead up to this bit here. Actually, if we move that too close, then you can just kind of jump straight up there, which isn't exactly what we're going for. Let's try this. Just gonna go up, and then okay, not quite. What if we just add a small indented slope like that? So yeah, okay, it's precise, but I think it's not precise to an obnoxious degree. It's a more fun kind of precise. Okay, cool. So now we've got that in place. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to definitely fix the layout of this bit here. There we go. Then we will cut this section back, fill that in. Then we can trim this section. There we go. Now we got a nice smooth thing the whole way up. Okay. So now we're gonna punch a hole for where the clock part is gonna go. You can see where I've not filled in the hollowed out sections properly. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, we got a perfect square. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is a little bit misaligned. Fairly subtle, though. I'm not super concerned. Okay. I think we will, however, punch that in a little bit there. As well as... I'll bring the roof up one more. 2 more. Just to make this whole bit feel a little bit more... yeah, let's just have this kind of cool indented effect for the clock face. Which I think will make it look a little bit better. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is, let's say, grab 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should look good. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna do the same to the other 2 corners. I messed something up. There we go, yeah, I think I just made these parts a little bit long. There we go. Now it's nice and even. Coolio. Okay, so we're gonna land up here. Ride this section up like so. Put a slope there. Okay, so then we go up here. Then I think we're gonna grab another gear. Rotate that guy 90 degrees. Make it decently big. Pull it down around there. And what direction is that rotating? Okay, wrong direction. So that to negative 90 degrees. Give you a rotation rate of about 60. So that way we can go hook. And then hua. Shit. It does kind of magnetize you to it a little bit. Oops. Okay, maybe this is a little janky. I want to see if maybe I can make it feel better. Yeah, that's okay. It still feels a little weird. It's not super like natural feeling. Maybe we add a subtle slope there. That'll help it along. Yeah, that's not too bad. What if I just make it spin really, really fast? Actually, that actually feels more natural. You can kind of just hit it, and it'll carry a... No matter what angle you hit it at, it'll always plonk you down right there. Yeah, okay, that's actually pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, well, we're on the topic of gears. Another concept that I've had that I kind of wanted to try out with this guy. And this might be a disaster. We'll see. I'm fully open to the idea that this will suck mega ass. But who knows? Maybe it's really cool and fun. You gotta be open to possibilities. Let's rotate you that way. Here's maybe you can see the vision here. Yeah, kind of like that. You just run up the side and then jump off. Okay, that, you know, I was kind of worried that wouldn't really work, but that works pretty well. What if we give it a slightly larger angle, a bit of a steeper tilt? No, that works pretty well too. Trying to think where we should go now, because we could just land up here. Like right there. See how that feels? Whoop. Yeah. Okay, we definitely would need to give this guy a slope on its sides for that to feel natural. Whoop. No? Okay, well, jumping off of it is kind of a pain. Yeah, jumping off it's a little weird. Maybe since jumping off of it feels a little clunky, instead of jumping off it, we could try just putting a trampoline down, so that way it, you know, the trampoline does the jump part for you. Whoop. Why are you zooming out, camera? What are you doing? Let's try that. See how that feels. Just joined. Welcome, Mr. Banana Bread. Bada bing, bada boom is an S tier phrase. Did I say that? I just kind of... I gotta be honest, I just kind of go. I just sort of talk, you know. When I'm live, I'm just kind of going. No thoughts. Just speaking words. Speaking a bunch of bullshit. Okay, let's cut a hole here where the player can bounce through. Yeah, that feels pretty smooth, honestly. Feels pretty good. Okay, then we're up here, we can have some extra stuff up here, but we'll save that for the enemy layout portion. Okay, then we'll add let's just say a launcher here. And this will have a big clock face, so you can shatter through it like you do in the other places. Pretty simple, but should be fairly fun as well. I wonder if you could, I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying, I wonder, because you can just do this. You can just grab onto this guy. Which, yeah, I don't know. It's the windmill blades being grabbable is very fun, but it does kind of entirely destroy the balance of this level. It works for Big Windmill and the other stages it's in, because you still have to, like, go to places, but this just kind of lets you get anywhere instantly. Might be a little strong. I mean, I guess you're still gonna have to scour the entire level anyways, and it kind of just gives you easier access to the, like, higher levels quickly. So maybe it's okay. It might still be too strong. I'll see it. We'll I don't know. No, I'm not gonna make any decisions right now. It's up in the air though. I'm keeping an eye on this guy. I don't trust him. He's shifty. He's suspicious. Okay, so we've got this bit here, and I think we could definitely do some more with this, the theme of the train yard section. So the main aesthetics we use for this section is like the tourist shop, which is right here, the train, which is right here, boardwalks, which we haven't done yet, and like a train stop, which we also haven't done yet. So I'm thinking we could have like a floating, kind of distant, like train stop, like maybe right up here, that you can access via some boardwalks, and that could also be a bit of a nexus. So I'm thinking that is probably the section we're going to want to do next. So let's begin just by figuring out where we want to put this train stop. Just going off of vibes, I think probably right around there. Maybe pull it back a little bit further. That feels about right, about good. And then if we do this, and do that, get a nice pavilion for people to rest at this train stop. And then we'll have a second floor. So we'll need to carve out a section there. There we go. Occurs to me I probably should have set up the slope after I did that. It is a little steep, so we'll just extend everything else out slightly to accommodate the extra space. There we go. Something like that should work pretty well. Get rid of the old slope to make space for the new slope. There we go. Got another hole there. Then fill this section in. And there we go. Now we got ourselves a weird floating train station. Rife with opportunities and some cool things we can do with this. Okay, let's begin by grounding it, because I also think these poles could be a fun thing to interact with. Like maybe you have to run around it. And this is where I'm also thinking that the surfboard would come into play. Both with using the surfboard as a way to get up here, but also being able to jump off of a surfboard at the very top that could then take you to other parts of the stage. I think that would be quite fun. Maybe even it sends you at like a weird diagonal angle you could use. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, we didn't even do the interior of this building yet. That's a problem. We'll extend this outwards a little bit, so that way we have some more space to set this section up. Because what I'm thinking is we do something simple like that, and then if we cut a hole there, that should probably feel good for... We'll drag this out a little bit further back, actually. Don't want this to feel too cramped. Something like that should work pretty well. Yeah, I think that'll work out well. Okay, so then we build ourselves a nice stair slope there. Okay, then set it up like that. So then you get up here, and then you're on the train, or you can maybe head this direction to start weaving your way up and through to get here. Okay, so let's grab start setting this up, rather. Then we'll go through here. I think we can even raise the elevation here. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. So if we grab the... Oh, that's a separate output. Whoops. Didn't make that part of the correct grid, so I'll have to rebuild that really quickly. But my idea here is that this could be like a fun crisscrossing section where you sort of work around in a pattern going up and up as you cross through the middle section repeatedly. And that could be a fun spot to use a couple of different surfboard challenges. Bring that element back into the mix. So let's get these guys back in place. Yep. There we go. Okay, let's grab a surf board. Whoop. Okay, that's the wrong launch angle. Gonna have to do a little correction there, I think. On the grind, yep. Maybe you could just make one of the windmill blades grabbable. It's true, but I don't want to make things feel too inconsistent. Like, one of them you can grab, one you can't. Like, there should be a reason for that. Like, that's at least visually understood in-game, rather than just being arbitrary. Oh, I see what you mean. One of the blades instead of all four. Oh, okay. That is interesting. When the game comes out, you're going to stop developing the game. So, I don't really intend to do anything major once this is done. I'd like to move on to other projects once this is finished. But there's a couple of things I know I'd probably like to do. Like some quality of life changes for sure is something that like, if there's some particularly prevalent issues that need to be addressed, beyond just bugs, I would like to take some time to fix those sorts of things. Do some small tweaks and changes to make the levels flow a little better. Maybe if I have some extra budget from the game coming out, add some extra songs here and there, that sort of thing. But I don't plan to do anything major. Unless maybe the game turns out to be a really big success, then I'd like to do something extra. But for now, plan is just to keep it as this, and then do some small housekeeping, essentially. Welcome to the stream, Bro Real. Okay, let's give this a launch of 3K. Negative 3K. Yeah. So we go boop, bop. Let's pull this further back, actually. Quite a bit further back. And I think I actually want to take advantage of the bouncing of this guy for something interesting. Set the bounce to 1,000 and set you to negative 1,500. That can be enough to clear the runway. Yes, it is. Okay. So we go down, we bounce. I think I'll increase the bounce quite a bit more. So let's say 2,500. Then drag this guy back a little more. And we'll just do some fine-tuning adjustment till this lines up well. Think. There we go. Okay, and then we can have some sort of obstacle down here. Like, let's just say we can just add some, I don't know, some spikes sticking out of the ground. These aren't actually going to be obstacles, but they will be what we can hang the actual obstacles on. Something like this, perhaps. Wah. You gotta like jump, and then it'll catch you. It's kind of fun. It's kind of satisfying. It'd be kind of hard to see, though. Yeah, it does feel a little jank, perhaps. We'll fill that in later. For now, we'll keep that as a little blank. Okay, so I'm thinking this would be like a little broken piece of the boardwalk, so we can just use a trampoline. That's a super trampoline. Use a regular trampoline. I need to make a visual distinction between those two already. There we go. Lift that up a little bit higher. Yeah. Then we'll do something a little more interesting with this than just keeping it as like a long straight line. Like for now we can just punch a hole in it, but that'll be like some enemies. We'll give it some twists and turns, but for just the purposes of just getting the layout done, this will do the trick. maybe add a sandbox or level design, so players can add levels to a modding page. That's something I'd like to include, but that's not really planned right now. A sandbox I probably will do, but a level editor is fairly complex. I definitely wouldn't have time to do that before the game comes out. But at the very least, making like a guide for how you could make your own stages and import them to the engine would be something. But yeah, definitely wouldn't be making like a full, like Mario Maker style UI for like making and uploading custom levels. You'd probably need to install Unreal first and like upload the models and stuff yourself and position things. But I think it'd be cool to have those resources at least in a place that's a little more convenient. But that's the sort of thing that I can worry about once I've gotten the game actually finished. So we go down, up, slam our head into it, and then get crushed into a fine paste. I'll just extend this out quite a ways to see about where we'll line up well. Oh, okay, that's too high. That's too high. It's too high. Oh, something else that I should include here, a mechanic that I should factor in here, is the multi surfboard launch, because this could be a good section to do like a left-right challenge. I think you could also probably just do that, but it is pretty expensive. And again, doing cool skips is all what this game is all about. And we can just also put some obstacles in there to make this more interesting. Okay, but if we do this, like that, and then we set it up so that way you are a launch partner with you, and you are a launch partner with you, and then they both go together. And we can have, like, some things to dodge. You gotta go left and right to weave around them. Good, whoop. Surfboard! Should be a good callback to the second mode. That's, like, one of the challenges. Is this lined up? It doesn't look lined up. No, it's not. Trim that one. Extend that by 1. There we go. Okay. And then this can narrow back down to here. Then we can have it, say, deposit play right here. So if we just go down, actually, let's just, yeah. I was thinking I could go around that way, but let's save some space a little bit here. Whoop. Went a little too far. And there we go. Alright, nice. So now we've got this big old windy path you can take to get all the way up here. And then from up here you can, probably put another super launcher right in this corner, so that way you can go flying to just about anywhere you'd like. And you go, pshoom. And you could even crash through here, fuck them up in here, fly back out up here, go up here, launch over here. A lot of cool possibilities for this stage. I think this will be a really fun one. I'm curious to see people run this. Maybe when you're chasing a train on a surfboard. Well, the trains don't really move. They do just kind of sit there in their current state. Like a pacifist campaign. That could be interesting, but I guess it'd be more interesting for just like a being able to flex your movement, because actually, you know, killing enemies is such a core fundamental part of the Void Collector experience. Oh, why did you launch? What? Why are you over there now? I think I must have moved it on accident. There we go. Okay, so we go down, bounce off the ocean, then we go hooah, up here, jump up, then we will stand on one of these, bounce back down through the middle, then back up. Can even do an abandoned ship there to save some time. Head up here, and bada bing, bada boom. Pretty satisfying. Doesn't take too long. I think that's a good amount of stuff for this section to have. So let's see. I think things that still need like a layout, like a fundamental, like rough sketch layout, is probably the interior of here is not done at all. Yeah. So this needs some more stuff in it. Might need to be a little wider too. It's a little small. And then definitely this section needs some more, 100%. I'm thinking what we want to do here. Okay, well, first step is going to be, let's just extend this out backwards by a decent chunk, just to give us some more space to work with. Because I think we'll run into the same problem we just ran into with the other world, with the inside of the clock tower, where it just felt super cramped, and that is not ideal. And then we'll just bring all of these fellas out. Oh, cool! Another scam call. That's awesome. I've been getting just like completely flooded with scam calls lately, and it is so annoying. I would really just prefer if they just ceased. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. So we could add a platform right here. We're gonna cut that back a little bit, and then we're going to extend it out like this, and we'll make it look like it got destroyed by the train crashing through. So we'll put like a trampoline or something you can use to like go around or go inside. Either way. Then we'll add a ramp here, so that way you can actually, you enter the room, you can go in like this. We could also add a thin ramp here. Sure, I don't know if that's really that great of an idea. Yeah, nah. Let's get rid of the broken away part 2, actually. I think this will probably feel a little bit better if it's just kind of right here-ish. Yeah, so we can go like, jump on in, we'll add a little door section to that. But that'll work for now. Will it come out before Silksong? If as long as Silksong does not release in April of 2025, then yes, it should be before Silksong. I already have all weapons, but I have another idea. Thumb and index. Slow time. I don't know if slow time would be super useful. I mean, it might be, especially if it slows down the timer. But I kind of don't want to slow things down, you know? Like, I want things to stay quick. The click-through ship a bus stop that does nothing. It does have a train stop. So, that's kind of like the same thing. Sorry, I'm just grooving. I got the Street Fighter EX2 Plus OST on. I'm jamming. I'm grooving. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's probably okay. Extend that out. I think I want this to look. Yeah, I think this will work fairly well. Then slope that out like that. Yeah, so go up and then around. Maybe we could put a trampoline there actually. And then if we carve that section out, then it would be like this. Yeah. And then let's pull this back a little bit to make that feel more smooth. And still kind of clip on the edge. Could just do that, or pull the door over if we need to. Yeah. Okay. Still kind of catches. And just put the door there for now. Nope, still keep just barely catching on that edge. There we go. By the way, there's a weird hole at the start of Climb and Clamber, but it's probably already known. There is? Actually, I'm not sure if I do know what you're talking about. Although it has been a while since I've been there. Where's the hole? Like this hole? Because that's intentional, but I don't know if there's like a gap somewhere in the map that I've missed. Anyways, getting distracted. Back to the main objective. Okay, so I'm thinking that we'll probably want to put some kind of a slope bit in right here. I should get this on my playlist. I like it, but I think it weirds people out. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, let's maybe drag that in one more. Okay, so we'll have this bit up here as kind of our main objective we're trying to get to. And then I think this would be a good place for a... This would be a good place for a bit of trickery, a bit of scaffolding maneuvering. So what I'm thinking is we put a launcher right here. So the idea is you'd have to go, whoop, that is completely with that. So you go like around here, kind of like that. You gotta like whoosh through some stuff. Land right here. Probably too tall. Yeah, too tall. Right there. Then we put another one right there. So boom. Then boom. And it does kind of just fling us directly into a wall. It doesn't feel the most smooth. So try to swap that out for a good old trampoline. And you go, you gotta weave through some stuff, but then you'll land right up here. keep making things just barely too tall. Yeah, and then we can do one last launch right here, and then we'll do some more mid-air shenanigans, and then we'll land on a platform right up here. Now that is definitely too tall. So I think what we'll do is redo this slope ever so slightly. Then if we put this part out to here, then we can get a nice even slope. There we go. It's a little steep, but get us right up here to the top of the windmill. Perfecto. You know what? I think we'll get rid of that bit there, and then make this kind of like its own combat section instead. I think that'll probably feel a little bit more natural, if I had to guess, than trying to cram in yet another launcher section. I think that'll work. Okay. So then we go up here, yada yada. Can have another arena up here, and then fling yourself out to wherever you want to go next. How'd you come up with the idea for Void Collector? So I was, I think I was just looking at my hand. I was like thinking of a first-person shooter idea. Like I just sort of wanted to make a first-person shooter, and the idea of it being like a speedrunning game kind of came first, because I played Neon White, thought it was really fun, but stylistically I didn't really jive with it, and gameplay-wise I also felt that the levels were fairly linear, and I kind of wanted something that was more, that had that sort of approach to it in terms of gameplay philosophy, but felt more open-ended in how you wanted to approach problems. And when I was thinking about like sort of unique gimmicks, I was like, oh, this could be kind of like making different hand poses could be fun, because I just naturally do finger guns a lot. So I was like, that could be a fun way of like controlling things. So those two ideas sort of just meshed together. Did you hate it when a train is rerouted through your home? Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. Hope you guys aren't getting hit with these, because they're coming in non-stop. Which level 3 will this one be? This will be stage 2. You guys are not going to see stage 3 on stream at all, probably, because that's going to be the big old final boss level. I'm trying to make that a proper, actual boss fight. We'll see how that goes. If it sucks ass, I'll probably reroute and make it just like a really challenging like final gauntlet stage. But the goal is to make that a boss fight. But I'm not going to show you guys the fight at all. That one is going to, if you want to see that, you're going to have to wait till the game comes out and watch somebody else play it, or preferably buy the game yourself and give it a shot. Because some things I do want to keep as surprises. There's another thing I'm doing for the hub world that I'm probably not going to show off at all. I think I want to keep that as also a surprise for launch, because I don't want to show off every single thing that's in the game before we get there. It's my friends about Void Collector. Nice. And I love the idea of the bird as the fuck you laser. I mean, it is the fuck you laser. It does a billion million damage via this. Why do you call them launchers and trampolines instead of Jeb and Green Jeb? Just because that's what I called them before I had graphics for them. They used to just be like floating exclamation points as like placeholders, and then I decided to make them guys. But whenever I'm trying to place them in, I type the name they're listed in as the code. Like right down here, you can see launcher and trampoline. So I just naturally tend to call them launchers and trampolines, because that's what my brain has gotten so used to thinking of when I need to find one to place one down. Okay, let's get a little bit of layout work done here now. I might need to leave fairly soon. We'll see, because I've got plans, and we'll see when that happens, because it's kind of up to somebody else for when things start. But for now, let's keep going. Let's keep pushing through. So we've got these little like snowy mountain bits, and I think that is something we should probably take a lot of advantage of, because it's cool. It's an interesting idea. So what I'm thinking is we add another like snowy wall here. Then slope this in, like that. So that way it seems like the whole building is getting like snow is rushing in against it at all sides, so it feels kind of closed in. And we'll just delete that guy right here. There we go. So we can go up here, and everything's kind of snowed in, but we can have a ramp. Here, and this is, we can maybe have like a jump to this section, and then we can have like an intermediate building right here that you go into, so you walk in and then walk out. It spits you out up top here, and then right up here you can walk a little bit and then jump up over here, and then from here there's like maybe another building built on top. I think that would be a good structure for this this whole place. We'll just do it like that. Yeah, it'll look like it's built on top of this section. Is kind of what I'm envisioning. Maybe you could that could be a fun idea actually. Maybe if this section is a little bit more large, you could head into it from like an entrance here, and then it slopes upwards, and you have to go through like a couple different floors, probably just 2 floors. But it's like snowed in at the bottom, but there's like a carved out section to let you actually get in through the door. And then you weave your way through there, fight some dudes, and get plopped back out up here. I think that'd be a fun way of going about it. Yeah, I like that. I like that concept a lot. Then we'll extend the slope out here the same way we had done previously. Be a lot of finagling, I think, to get this all looking correct. Hey, we'll worry about that a little later. Let's get the layout, the core structure finished before we worry too much about the prettier details. Gotta keep my brain on the one thing at a time. I love darting around. I love jumping from thing to thing with reckless abandon. Okay, so we'll add a slope there. That's a little too yeah, size-wise doesn't matter. It doesn't really work out great, actually. Okay, new idea. Because another thing that I incorporated quite a bit in this world was, like, fallen trees. So we can have, like, another, like I said, fallen tree. Adios. Oh, well, thanks for dropping in. Waiting for him to start coloring it in because it'll look pretty and sick. Well, I sure hope so. That'll probably be next stream, I imagine, because the layouts are coming along very, very well. So we just need to do enemy placement and texturing. The first level especially is coming along very nicely, so we'll probably be doing some texturing for that next week, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's kind of the main objective. Yeah, I'm liking, like, especially if you take a step back, you're like, this level's really coming along. Like, it looks like a good old finale, you know? It feels nice and grand. Oh. Uno momento. Okay. Okay, so I do have to go now. Plans have come through, so I'm gonna have to go. But thank you everybody who decided to drop in. These are gonna be ghost. Yes, ghost mode will be present. It's already present in the previous level in this world, and it'll also be present in this one. All right, but that'll be it for today's stream. Thank you everybody who decided to drop in. It's a good productive one. I really think we made a lot of excellent progress today. It's probably not gonna be too much longer before we're really gonna be brushing up on everything being done, which is very, very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Did I miss a line stuff? Why is this being funky? Oh, I'll fix that later. Anyways, bye bye everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will